Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, folks. Welcome to day 3 of the FIBA Women's Asia Cup. It's New Zealand taking on Chinese Taipei. We are in Bengaluru, Italy, and today is a crunch day. This is a hugely important game. When you look at the seedings for the quarterfinals, we'll talk more about that in just a bit, but it's a terrific day of basketball. This will be followed by Japan and Australia. That's a real battle of international heavyweights, followed by Korea and the Philippines, and then we'll wrap things up with the Democratic People's Republic of Korea and China, who have looked very impressive, I must say. I'm Jeff Taylor, joined by Mick Bett, and if you look at the standings, Mick, China, they've beaten both New Zealand and Chinese Taipei like a drum. So they're up at the top. New Zealand, if they win this game, they will clinch second place. If Chinese Taipei win it, they will finish second. And that's important because who they will face in the crossover in the quarterfinals.
Well, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Good morning, wherever you are. I guess it's broadcast going out many places around the world. Yeah, big game for New Zealand, big game for Chinese Taipei. The winner will command second place. The loser will probably get the third place. And that will have effect in quarterfinal crossovers. I think it's Australia-Japan will decide 1 and 2 in the other group, and therefore that will be the matchup for these two, depending on who wins and loses. But you want to avoid Japan, avoid Australia, pick your poison, I guess.
Absolutely. We don't know who the best is between those two teams. We'll get an idea later. Well, welcome to Bengaluru, Italy, folks. It's the FIBA Asia Women's Cup. It's day 3, and it's Chinese Taipei getting ready to face New Zealand. Chinese Taipei being introduced here to the crowd, and it was on day 1, Mick, that this Chinese Taipei team dodged a bullet. I mean, they almost lost to the Democratic Republic of Korea, and they were fortunate to get that win.
Yeah, very much so. And their bounce-back games against China, which they probably thought they had no chance of winning, going down by 39 points in the end, 102-63. So they haven't really had a chance to redeem themselves from that performance from day 1. This may be their day, but what is the bounce over from last night, the Chinese loss? Well, only time will tell, I guess.
Well, they played the last game yesterday, so they've had less time to rest. But coming up against the New Zealand team that played the second game yesterday, and they seem to have discovered a little bit of confidence against the Democratic Republic of Korea, especially in the second half. They played good defense against China on opening day in the first half, and they just did not have nearly enough bigs, enough guns to stay with the Chinese. But if they win this game, they will clinch second and probably face Korea in the quarterfinals. And that is a much more favorable matchup for them, or that would be, than facing Australia or Japan. So we're going to hear the playing of the national anthems for both of these teams, Chinese Taipei and New Zealand.
Please remain standing for the national anthem of New Zealand.
luck. Good luck. Thank you.
Oh, both teams wishing each other luck here before the start of this game. And we'll have a look at the rosters and starting fives of both of these teams in just a second. Before that, we'll have a look at the referees. And obviously the less we talk about them, the better, but we do like to introduce them before the game. And there they are from Lebanon, in India, and the Philippines. Nujaim, Baig, and Garcia.
Let's not talk about it. No.
Well, we haven't really had to talk about them at all in this tournament, which is a good
very
sign.
good. A few odd calls now and again where you think there's maybe a little misunderstanding. You haven't seen it, but that's life. You know, you got to deal with it. You adapt as a player, and you just move on. I haven't seen a player yet that truly admits they fouled somebody.
So Chinese Taipei, I think this will be an interesting game for number 17, Bao.
Well, if they don't get a good game out of Bao, you can forget it, Jeff. He's the only rebounding force they've got, and she needs to stay in the game, come up with a big game. And New Zealand know that. They'll put pressure on her. Lin at 7, Lan at 7 is a decent guard, very hard-nosed. You can see Chinese Taipei go to the zone offense here. They know that New Zealand might play a zone against them. The 1-3-1 they'll play. And head coach of Chinese Taipei, Coach Cheng.
Of course, Bao also will know a lot of these New Zealand players because she plays professionally in Australia. She had a good game in the opener against the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, and never really got on track against China. You could also say the same thing about New Zealand, who it was good news for Coach Kennedy Kiriyama that Cox, number 2 up there, one of his veterans, seemed to get on track in the second half, as well as Kalani Purcell. And this starting 5 probably will be the same. Shavana Palvas, who we thought might have been a little bit ill before the game. She seemed to be maybe a bit dehydrated, but Harmon, Edmondson, Kalani Purcell, and Cox will be in the starting 5. And of course, one of the big issues for Purcell, and we spoke to Kiriyama about this, was her problems picking up fouls. So can she stay out of foul trouble? Maybe, is that as crucial today? Well, I think so. I think they need her in there against foul, and she's one of those New Zealand players that you pretty much know you can get some offense from.
Well, if you haven't got a replacement that's really going to come in and fill your shoes, then you become that much more of a valuable player. And New Zealand looking for a backup at that position who's really going to make an impact. And Bao and Jillian Harmon there to your left. I'm not sure why we've got Harmon Jillian, because that should be the other way around. But she's their top player, good shooter. She probably prefers the jump shot rather than taking it to the hoop, but that's a struggle she'd have to find with her own game. But she's needed right now to get to really provide a presence in there.
Change the coach. She seemed to, well, they were running out of the gym yesterday in the first half against China, but she seemed to say the right things at halftime, because they came out firing in the second half and got a huge deficit down to 20, whereas Kennedy Kiriyama, the New Zealand coach, he's been at the helm for a while now, and this would be a huge accomplishment for New Zealand if they were to get into the World Cup. The same for Chinese Taipei.
Yeah, exactly. And you think about it, Jeff, although today is important in terms of, again, forward confidence and seeding, the big game is Thursday morning, the quarterfinals. Every quarterfinal winner will go and take that ticket to Spain.
You go, Lonnie, you go. You got it, man. You got both. Here you go, man. Let's go now. Here you go, Jilly. You got it. Let's go, Shib. Once you close that angle, here, go, Tony.
Well, hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us at the FIBA Women's Asia Cup. It's the game between New Zealand and Chinese Taipei. This is day 3, and it's a big game. The winner will clinch second place in the group, and that will affect who they play in the quarterfinals. And it would mean that they would not face Australia or Japan, arguably the two best teams in the other group. So the early turnover already from Purcell, and Chinese Taipei get quickly to the other end. They played last yesterday, so we're wondering if they might be a little tired. Foul. She's going to go up, and she's going to attack.
Well, a poor start there for Bao Xilei. A dribble that took her nowhere, and Jillian Harmon, so the nerves definitely showing, Jeff, here.
Yeah, for both teams. Huang Fanshan, it was Harmon that reached in and knocked the ball off of her leg.
Yeah, it came off Huang's leg, I think, didn't it? So fairly, I don't know what the complaints are from Huang. It was fairly obvious.
Yeah, Huang Fanshan was in the open floor looking to make the pass.
Zone for Chinese Taipei, Jeff. We presumed it would be. In fact, Kennedy Kariyama knew it would be. It's how you solve the problem now. Ball movement quickly, penetration. And they're putting a lot of pressure on the perimeter. That's obviously upset New Zealand's momentum early on.
So another turnover for New Zealand. So 2 turnovers in the first 55 seconds for New Zealand. They have been, I wouldn't say they've been fast starters in this tournament, and now the second turnover called against Chinese Taipei, and Lin must be thinking, have I gotten out of bed yet?
It's an early morning game, that's what you're saying, huh?
Well, they did play last. They have been here for a while, but this is the challenge of tournament play. You have to be able to turn it on 24 hours or less the following day. Purcell on the baseline. Harmon goes up, but Bao beats her to the rebound.
And Jeff, she's going to get that shot all night. She's got to start making it, though, that's for sure.
Well, and the drive and the first points go to Chinese Taipei.
Nice little layup from the left hand from Huang Fanshan.
I think it was Ping Jin, number 9. And Tony Edmondson. Now Purcell gets inside, and she meets a wall of resistance. Cox, she finished hot yesterday, and she picks right up where she left off.
Jeff, that is the one area where you fancy this New Zealand team to take advantage with. The ball in Michaela Cox's hands, shooting the 3. She went 4 of 10 yesterday. She took a fair share, but
she got hot though in the second half.
Got very comfortable, didn't she, at one point?
Bao again. Well, that was much better. Rolling to her right.
Oh, very impressive. I was about to say she's got no left hand, but she came back in her left and produced a move.
Tony Edmondson. Well, Cox just hit one. She might look for her.
This is where they want to get the ball.
Purcell, nice touch. Now Fanshan over to Huang Pingjin, and that was an air ball.
Yeah, a lot of nerves right around all 10 players on the floor. Nobody's settled just yet. It's been an early morning game, Jeff. You know, it's tough to acclimatize sometimes. You know, what time you take breakfast in the morning, what time the guys get up. There would have been no practice this morning.
Harmon now on the baseline.
That short corner shot. That's the 3rd shot on the short corner they've had this game. There's another one right there if they want to take it.
Well, Cox this time drifts in, little runner. And good hustle from Purcell. Look at her get on the ground, but Fanshan beats her to the ball. Huang Fanshan over to Wang Pingjin. And now it's Lin. Tries to go baseline, and that was cut off by Tony Edmondson.
Michaela Cox just getting a little physical in the low post there. It's good to see in terms of coaching aspect. It shows your defensive intensity. Now, this is interesting. Why you take Bao Xilei out at this point, I do not know, Jeff.
Well, maybe they felt like they were not as mobile, or I don't know.
Well, one area of weakness for New Zealand is this lady here, Purcell's foul troubles, Kalani Purcell's foul. So maybe by putting her on a perimeter player, it exposes her.
Oh, that was a difficult pass from Cox. And then Ching goes in. Ball knocked out of bounds. Just in the game. Has it knocked away.
I thought she fumbled it herself, but there's no complaints from the New Zealand players.
Lan for three. In and out. Well, tough luck for Chinese Taipei on that one.
Yeah, they're not going to get many offensive rebounds without Bao Xilei in the game, so they've got to make some shots.
And Purcell just handed the ball right off to Lin. She's got to do better. Heady play from Lin. Little turnaround though, forced it, 1-on-4.
Kyla Cox just rubbing her hands on a short set as if the ball's a bit wet.
And Palvas just dribbles it off her right leg.
I think the referee did call timeout here. Let's get the players sitting down and let's just settle things down, guys.
Well, New Zealand are out rebounding Chinese Taipei to 7-3, but turnovers are plaguing them, and some questionable shot selection for Chinese Taipei, at least on that last trip down the floor. Another jump shot, and Huang Fanshan can't corral it. Well, the key for New Zealand so far is that they have not been able to get Harmon in the flow, but she'll have to keep putting them up.
Like I said, that short corner jump shot's going to be there all night, so they've got to work out who's going to make it.
Natalie Taylor's checked into the game. She's got the ball.
There it is, Jeff.
Harmon again off the back of the iron. And that's a foul that perhaps...
that's Purcell's first foul. You know, and as a coach, you don't mind that too much. You're going to get things like that. Kariyama would prefer perhaps not with the foul going against their best big inside Purcell, but
it's taken her a while to pick up the first one today, almost 5 minutes. Yesterday she had 2 just 4 minutes into the game. So she doesn't want to pick up a cheap one, that's for sure. Lan at the line. Both teams struggling offensively. Huang Fanshan hits the three.
Wow, well set up from Huang there. Just took a couple of dribbles, sized the defense up. This might be a very low-scoring game, this one. Plagued by the turnovers you talked about, Jeff.
And Purcell at the line. She was kind of rushed. She saw a little daylight, so decided to take the shot. Might have been able to drive to the basket. And Wu short. Wu again and rattles it in.
Jeff, you got a substitution coming in here. Edmondson. My guess is that Purcell will come out. And they'll go small ball to respond to Chinese Taipei small ball.
And Natalie Taylor for three. I don't think she's hit much in the tournament. And that line drives in. It gets blocked from Natalie Taylor. Good defensive play.
And you know what, Jeff? If that's not a charge, then it should be a flop, surely. That play just now. It'd be interesting who comes out here, whether Purcell does come out.
Yeah, Purcell will come out, but with Stockill coming in.
Stockill replace, yep. Edmondson in, and Palvast out, is it 10? Yep.
You have to think if Chinese Taipei can play defense as they have so far. Yeah, they have given up a couple of jumpers, but you know the game is going according to plan for them.
Well, they've made shots. That's the important thing for Chinese Taipei. They've made big shots.
And there's another one, a three-pointer from Lan.
Well, this is how China got dealt last night just after halftime. The shots went down. They can shoot the ball, that's for sure. Now New Zealand will start feeling the pinch maybe.
Tony Edmondson decides to take a three, and it's an air ball. And Stockill saves it into the hands of Chinese Taipei. I feel a timeout coming for New Zealand.
Yeah,
they're in a bit of a drought. They were up 5-4. So an 8-0 run, and make it an 11-0 run for Chinese Taipei.
Oh, Wu just set the back screen, opened up, and then got a feet set. Wow, Jeff, that's that wasn't in the script.
So look at this three. And Chinese Taipei they've got their shooting shoes on.
Yeah, I make that maybe the last 4 jump shots they've made, 2 of which have been threes. The score was 5-4.
Elbow's just fine for us. This end of the floor, yeah, they've made some shots over our hand. They haven't been us on any penetration. They haven't been us on any transition play. We've got to capitalise on that end of the floor. Stop taking lazy-ass options.
Well, that needs no translation. And but again, the key is that Harmon has yet to get it going, I think. But you know, you would have thought that perhaps Chinese Taipei might have been the team that started a little flat, but really it's been New Zealand.
Well, they both started flat, didn't they? But then Chinese Taipei have hit 4 jump shots in a row. That's why they got 11 points on the board. It's not rocket science where one team becomes very dominant over the other. Unfortunately for New Zealand, we've said this before, where's their game A? Where's their plan A? The plan A is Jillian Harmon. She's hit 2 jump shots or missed 2 jump shots in a row. Now, as a player, when you're missing jump shots, what do you go to? Well,
you put the ball on the deck.
You put the ball on the deck and go to the hoop. Yeah, but that needs to be Jillian Harmon's mantra right now. This short corner is an important shot. Now, they've taken out the big in Purcell. Harmon will go inside. She might get the ball right here. See, they can't get to the ball. There's no post up, and it's a poor pass.
And they know that they want to get the ball to Harmon, and Chinese Taipei,
absolutely.
They just literally just stepped right in and taken the ball away a couple of times. Remember the handoff that was stolen from Purcell? And Huang Fan Chan, and now the lead is 12.
And it's soft defense, Stockhill. That's the second time she's closed out a little tentatively and pays the price.
Well, that was a dangerous pass.
That's a great pass.
Much better.
Now that might be, but you're not going to get that pass. Chinese Taipei will take that high post away easily next time. And no Michaela Cox on the floor for the jump shot either. That might hurt New Zealand.
No, she's out there.
Is she?
Yeah, number 2.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Guarding line. Yeah. And Chang drives and
there's the problem with Stockhill. You get burnt on a couple of jumpers because you don't close out. When you do close out, you get beaten off the dribble and foul. So there, see, watch this now. That's a great pass from Stockhill. And Chinese Taipei will have to adapt to that next time.
But Chinese Taipei, everything going according to plan. They're up 11.
Well, they've made 5 jumpers in a row. They've just hit a free throw, so they haven't missed a shot now for maybe 5 or 6 offenses.
Vaguely reminiscent of New Zealand's game against Cuba last year at the FIBA Women's Olympic Qualifying Tournament. When they finally got it going, the clock was the enemy. They ran out of time. Although they were the recipient of a tough call at the end of that game. Here's Cox for 3.
That's the shot they want. That's all right. Don't worry about it. You got to keep shooting. You got to keep taking it. To me, that's a big part of it. Can you set Michaela Cox up for that weak side jump shot? It's not going to come off the strong side. You got to move the defense around a bit. It's a good move bringing back Purcell. I think Purcell on the low post is a big option for New Zealand. And she has the ability to hit that cross-court pass.
Oh, nice quick pass, but she was still out of bounds.
Yeah, not a great option.
You know, the turnover problems are a nightmare for New Zealand right now. They're just handing the ball off.
And Jeff, another area you don't, I mentioned before in New Zealand's game, they're not a great fast break team, so they limit their options in terms of getting easy buckets.
Another 3, go!
What a screen. So it's a back screen to the flare to the corner, and Land just opened up. Flat little clothesline jump shot. That's tough. Harmon had Purcell going to the hoop, decided to go baseline. Drew a foul, it's important too. This is,
I suppose can Chinese Taipei keep up this scintillating shooting? You know, they've got the confidence, they're loose. Now, you know, things become a little bit harder for New Zealand. Look at that, another turnover right into the hands. And leads to the break, and
wow.
Tony Edmondson hustled back to play D.
She blocked it too, just got a finger on it.
Thought they may have had a break there. Cox and bumped as she went baseline by Cheng.
Yes, knee-to-knee contact. You see, Cox is rubbing a thigh, and Cheng has just got a knee bang, and she will go out.
Chinese Taipei's quickness is very evident on the defensive end. Look at that. I mean, they are struggling to make passes. They have so many turnovers.
Jeff, that's twice now they've tried to throw it into the post, and the defense guarding the post has pinched it off. That means the post player is not sealing hard enough, and that's a big part of China's game. Great pass.
Open Cox. And off the rim, the hustle from Purcell, but Chinese Taipei as well hustled into the corner.
She's got to keep shooting, Jeff. She's just got to keep keep the confidence up.
And Huang had the shot deflected by Edmondson. Another good defensive play by her. New Zealand with 8 turnovers in the first quarter, and Harmon misses under the basket.
Tough play for Jillian Harmon. You know, she probably might have been looking to get to the free throw line with contact, but nobody was a friend there.
Shot clock is off. 5 seconds now. 2. Wu, she's not going to get off in time. So bad possession.
Oh, she nailed it too.
Bad possession, but nevertheless, I mean, they're up 21-7. New Zealand have a mountain to climb already. Shooting numbers do not make for pleasant viewing for New Zealand. For Chinese Taipei, 75% from three-point range. That is a big factor, obviously, in this game. Well, New Zealand, believe it or not, actually led 5-4 early in this game, and since that point, they have been outscored 17-2.
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, you know,
16-2.
Jeff, we saw China, one of the top nations in the world, taken to task just after halftime yesterday's game by Chinese Taipei, and so much so the coach went into sulky mood, didn't he? He got very frustrated with the team. So they can play. They can shoot the ball where they're not strong. And don't forget, they've sat their best player down in Bao Xilei. If you consider Bao Xilei to be their best player, their best big, for sure. So they've sacrificed rebounding for the fact that they can shoot the J. They're going to bring New Zealand's bigs out and shoot
and quickness. Quickness on defense, I think.
Well, they've closed out, that's for sure. You know what, and they've got to be more patient, New Zealand. Go back to plan A, which is get the ball down low and reverse diagonally to the opposite wing. And that was plan A yesterday in that win against Korea. And
they've got 5 steals already.
Chinese Taipei.
Chinese Taipei, yeah. I mean, they are.
But some of that must be down to the way New Zealand are playing the low post. You know, they throw the ball into the low post 3 times to be stolen. So 3 out of those 5 have been passes into the low post, where the low post is not sealed off correctly, and no physicality. Now, maybe, I don't know, you've seen Jillian Harmon play in Italy a little bit. I'm not sure whether you have or not, but does she play post in Italy, or is she more of a wing player? You haven't got a clue, have you?
I don't know. I haven't seen her play in Italy.
You've got Scooby-Doo.
I've only seen her play for New Zealand.
Yeah, so I'm presuming she plays wing. Wing stroke a little bit of inside. So therefore, coming here and being
having to play more low post,
yeah, it's a different position for her.
Just we know that New Zealand starts slow. Chinese Taipei started slow. on opening day. They started slow yesterday against China, but today they've started very fast.
Can they get Michaela Cox onto this wing here? That's what they want.
Tony Edmondson goes baseline, and again, right into the hands.
Well covered by Chinese Taipei. Yeah, I mean, they're covering all the angles.
Now, fadeaway jump shot. They're just not missing.
No, all they touch is turning to gold right now, isn't it? It's a good scoreline, 23-16, and it's all out of jump shots.
23-7, yeah.
23-7, sorry, 16 lead, my point. Get it into the high post. Can you work the high post?
Boy, everything is challenged. Everything is nothing. No daylight at all for the Tall Ferns, and I don't know what Kiriyama is going to do. Another open shot, and
well, Jeff, you're waiting for that, man. You're waiting for a series of misses and get yourself some easy buckets. Chile and Harmon, see, they don't break very well. I think that's the important thing.
But yeah,
this is what they want here.
He faces the double team into Tony Edmondson.
Nice play. There you go, nice play.
Nice play, but still under pressure.
You know, you got to take what you get, right? They got the ball low, they got the ball reversed.
So the Tall Ferns need another stop. It's going to be a three. And Purcell goes up and gets the rebound. They just need something positive to happen. Polvast wide open. It was on line but short, and then it goes through the hands of Wu.
Through the legs. I don't know how you can
through the hands, legs.
That'll be interesting to see whether it just grazed a leg on the way through, but I think it did.
Here it is.
We're going to see it there.
Oh, maybe not.
I know. I'm still not quite convinced.
And Edmondson flashes again. One shot, though. No offensive rebound. And quickly, it's Wu travels. You got to give Chinese Taipei their coach credit. Now, I like this substitution coming in for New Zealand. Ott, I thought she should have played a little bit more yesterday. And also coming back in is Ching for Chinese Taipei. But you got to give the coach credit for Chinese Taipei for taking Bao out and thinking they're a little bit harder to play against with that quicker lineup. Look at that. That's a close and nice drive from Cox. Scored with the left hand as well.
Yeah, they're trying to get the ball to Cox for the jump shot, and Chinese Taipei know that. That's why that ball almost got intercepted.
And Chinese Taipei almost turned it over. Low for three. Good. Another one. Boy.
Yeah, low pin there with the just opened up just off the bench too. Very impressive.
Well, Ott is a three-point option. If they swing it to her in the corner and just right into two Chinese Taipei players' hands.
Well, you know what, Jeff? I'm going to tell you now. Ott should never have been in that corner. Ott should have been on the short, up on the diagonal here, because that pass was forced because Cox had no other option.
Low goes baseline, gets blocked by Edmondson.
Yeah, great play. Second block. I think she just called for a sub too.
She's really defensively doing everything.
See, now can you get the ball to Cox on this weak side with nobody guarding? That's the thing. Can you screen one side of the zone?
And Purcell.
That's a good play for
Gets to the line.
Yeah, I think they went man-to-man there, Chinese Taipei, so I'm not sure whether they got the wires crossed or...
So the run that really opened things up for this Chinese Taipei team, they went on a 13-0 run to turn a 5-4 deficit into a 17-5 lead, and they haven't looked back. Still a long way to go, obviously, for New Zealand, but they've got to. That's a good sign there. Purcell getting to the line and making both, getting it back to 13 points, the deficit. Good hands from Purcell. Chin up high, good cut. Oh, Cox
not sure what she was doing,
and then ran out of the way.
Well, I think she felt because her body position wasn't right. If she's got in the way, she'd get a foul, but she give up the foul rather than the layup. Too frantic, Jeff. Too frantic by half.
Okay, she's open.
That's a good shot.
And still can't get it to go. Harmon. Good rebound from Purcell.
Now this is good. This is good.
Taylor
like
open, short.
That's the shot they've needed all game. They haven't quite managed to get it. That's one of them.
Now going hard to the basket is Chin.
Wow. Just getting drilled. Education right now.
17 points. Biggest lead of the game. Touch pass, and they get it to Harmon. Good play by Purcell. That's one way to beat the defense. Don't hold on to it at all. Just make the quick touch pass. It's back to 15 points.
Jeff, we're going to remind you, Joel, Chinese Taipei played the last game last night.
Exactly.
So they've come in with the least rest out of these two teams.
That's why we thought they might have started flatter. Ott gets into a difficult position. Harmon now has it and puts up a tough shot. And Harmon reaches around, knocks it out of bounds.
In a situation like this, Jeff, you, as a player, you've just got to keep plugging away. You've got to hope that Chinese Taipei have a cold spell, and you've got to hope that all the hard work you've done in practice and preparation then puts you into a position of getting some easy, cheap buckets and making your fortunes turn.
But the quickness on defense for Chinese Taipei has really limited the opportunities for New Zealand, and one step too many there for Chinese Taipei. We never, you know, the funny thing is, going back to your point about the last game for Chinese Taipei, we never actually sensed any sign of real tiredness from them yesterday. I mean, no tension. I mean, I guess, you know, they didn't think they'd beat China. Nevertheless, they played a lot of minutes. They played hard.
Second half, they were outstanding, weren't they?
It's all about conditioning. You know, Agnew was open there, but wasn't looking for the shot. Here she is. Oh, nice penetration.
Now, that's good. That's actually good. You got a guard on the floor who wants to penetrate and kick. Now, can you get a shooter with her like Cox? So will he play Cox and Agnew together? It'd be interesting to see.
Put a Cox at the 2.
Absolutely. That's exactly what you need. I guess he's not quite convinced.
Because otherwise you have Cox at the point, and you've got Paulvost setting up outside.
Yeah, that's the issue for Kennedy Kariyama.
Right now he's got Paulvost out there.
You go with Cox, you keep that quickness out there, and you bring a shooter.
Or perhaps you leave Paulvost out there with Agnew. Let's just see how they do now. 3-point attempt. Purcell with the rebound.
Big moment here for Agnew. Big moment.
Oh, does a good job getting the contact. No call. Harmon needs to come down with it.
Oh, tough play. Unlucky. Jillian Harmon did everything right. That's even
she gets
better.
It back. She gets the. Well, you don't want to read lips there. She gets the ball, and it actually turns out better. She gets the contact and scores. And if she makes this, it's a 10-point game. And really very positive minutes. Strong positive minutes that we're seeing from Georgia Agnew, which I have to say I've been saying she needs to get into the game more from the very beginning.
20 minutes in 2 games so far, 8 and 12 in games 1 and 2. I'm sensing that there's an issue here that you need. You're right, Jeff. She needs to be on the floor. Now, who plays with her? That's the argument that comes next. And right now, Paulvost gets the nod. I'm still going to say Cox has got the hot hand, even 4 for 10 shooting yesterday.
Well, yeah, you bring, say you have a substitution, then you bring Cox back in, but Paul Vost and Agnew are getting it done, so leave him out there.
Agnew's getting it done right now. I'm not convinced that Paul Vost and Agnew are the combination.
Okay, look at Purcell with the 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 6 points. Not a bad game for her.
That's a bit greedy, isn't it? Greedy, leading all categories.
But she's playing within herself.
Share the love.
And staying out of foul trouble.
Yeah, that's key for her, that's for sure. Good job she's not leading that category.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I would say that I was saying yesterday that Agnew needed to be a little more selfish, need to look for her shot, but having seen how she's approached it, I mean, she's definitely got the point guard mentality, doesn't she?
I wouldn't say she's an out-and-out shooter. I think she shoots the ball and she's competent, but she's not. I would say Cox is a better shooter.
Well, we just haven't seen enough of her yet.
No, but look at that penetration and kick. That's exactly what you want. You know, they're going to come and play the perimeter that high.
Now the 10-point game. Harmon goes out, Stockhill goes in. This is a crucial part of the game here for New Zealand. How long will Harmon sit down?
And you're in the zone too. Look, the zones come out. That's shooter's paradise.
And
Chinese Taipei.
Bao is back in as well, which means got a mismatch down low. Is Purcell aware of Bao being in the paint? And she's blocked from behind. Bao gets it, and good hands from Agnew. I thought they might exploit that.
Well, Bao wanted them to, that's for sure. It was a huge post up from her. 1-3-1 from Chinese Taipei as well.
Oh, nice baseline jump shot from Stockhill, and now it's an 8-point game, and things suddenly looking a lot better for New Zealand, but they've got to get it done on this end, and they allow the pass to fall to Bao, and Stockhill, all things considered, that's not a bad foul. Make her go to the line and earn it.
Yeah, that's the, I think that's Purcell's matchup there, back left of the 1-3-1 zone. That should have been her coverage.
Now, if you live in Australia, and you know Bao, actually, she goes by the name, her English name is Joy Burke. And also in America, when she moved to Arizona at the age of 12, it's Joy Burke. In case you're thinking that you know this person, and we're calling her Bao. And she makes both, excuse me, makes the second, 31-22.
Coach with 2 fingers up in the air. That sounds like a 2-3 zone. Maybe looks like it as well.
Well, Stockhill's just hit that one, so they're going to close her out, aren't they?
Well, that's why they're going to the 2-3. So it means that Bao Xilei doesn't have to cover so much ground.
Nice play by Agnew, reading it. Oh, but she gets rejected by Bao. And now the shot clock is going to expire. So great defense that time.
Good impression with Stockhill in the game and Purcell. Purcell's not sure where to be because the last time that penetration happened, she dumped it down to Purcell. Agnew, no options really available to her there.
Good D.
And Agnew's out, Jeff.
Now the Tall Ferns have
Agnew,
done
Agnew out, Cox in.
Yep. Okay. So they're going to.
That's not okay.
But also
no.
Paul Vost remains. So it's Cox and Paul Vost. I think Paul Vost maybe is a little more physical. And the long rebound out to Huang Ping Shin. Here's Bao again. And they throw it over the head of Paul Vost, was it? Or Taylor. And goes back to 11.
Well, Chinese Taipei just gone to plan B, and plan B is working. Throw it into Bao Xilei. See Cox on the perimeter, on the point. It's not a strength in terms of shooting, is it?
No.
Here she comes baseline. They might screen up, yeah.
And she goes for the reverse layup and scores.
There you go. Get her the ball on the wings, baseline.
Harmon back in.
Which then is another point for the argument to get her Agnew in at point with Cox at the 2.
Well, this is where Stockhill probably shouldn't get beat by guarding her out, but now they get the high pick. And offensive foul. So the Tall Ferns get it back. There's some crowd here in the game, in the stadium. Getting a chance to watch the FIBA Asia Cup women, FIBA Women's Asia Cup. Just sitting back. I mean, what would you rather do on a school day? Are they in school here? I guess there would be. Timeout, look at that. Some more fans piling into the arena. and thinking that maybe one day they will be able to play basketball. Why not?
Yeah, looks like a school trip to me, Jeff.
That's what it's all about.
It's either a school trip or a very big family.
They're looking on in amazement.
Yeah.
Look at
Wonderment.
the coach, the Chinese Taipei coach. I have to say, she's done very well in this first half, and she doesn't want what was a rather sizable advantage to just dissipate here too much going into the break.
Yeah, she called timeout the last time they went to 10 points. I think this is Kerryama's timeout, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but still, the coach doesn't want it to dissipate.
No.
True. Or disappear. Maybe dissipate's not the right word. So you like what?
Diminish.
So you like the impact of Agnew coming in. Finally, Harmon got it going. Also, Cox had a breather. She came back in as a made a play. And
Michaela Cox's best place on the floor, wing, baseline, but not at the point. So that's me just looking at it as a neutral now, thinking, okay, I've seen her now play 3 games. This is where I think she's most dangerous. So now how can you accommodate that? You're going to put her at the point and run an offense that gets her off the point quickly.
So she's more of a combo or just a straight 2.
Well, you need a shooting ability, and she's not shot one shot from the top of the key yet.
Well, this is Agnew's first run with New Zealand, so perhaps it's right through the hands of Harmon. That hurts.
Nice offense. I've seen her run before, looked good. But like I said, you got to catch it.
And to Bao Chile turns, puts it up and in, and it was costly.
Yeah, she's going to work. I tell you what, Plan B is incredible for Chinese Taipei because it's now made Kerryama keep thinking again.
Turnovers for New Zealand have been absolute killers today. Now at the line, and good job, Tony Edmondson getting the board. 14 seconds on the shot clock. They need to hold it for one. Edmondson's going to drive in, and Chinese Taipei, will they get a shot? They're gonna launch it. So a better finish for Chinese Taipei at the end. They are up 35-24, and if you're New Zealand, you just have to get to that locker room, come back out with a sense of purpose, and be ready to go for the third quarter. Chinese Taipei up by 11.
Jeff,
So
we look at these stats. I tell you, look at the number of threes taken by New Zealand, 7, and they're playing against the zone. That would tell me that we haven't quite got things right in terms of
balance on the floor.
Exactly right. You know, you're playing in zone for 20 minutes, you'd expect more threes to go up. They've only made 1, but it's the number of threes taken that concerns me. And you look at the turnovers, 11. There's too much, you know, there's an element.
They had 8 turnovers in the first quarter, so just 3 in the second quarter. And obviously you cut down the turnovers, you're going to come back, but then they had the costly one by Harmon, which turned right into 2 points right at the end.
And I think if you look at fast break points, which we don't have the ability on the visual stats, but I think you'll find that New Zealand do not get many fast break points.
And in fairness to Harmon, you have to say she's playing a lot of minutes, so she's having to do a lot for New Zealand.
Absolutely.
But we haven't seen the best of her yet, and maybe we haven't seen the best of New Zealand yet, but they have got some issues with Bao now coming in and the low post.
Well, that's been an added bonus for Chinese Taipei, the ability to bring Bao in and then go, like I say, plan B. You've gone plan A, which is the jump shots. Now you're getting layups too. You're getting inside moves.
So we're at halftime, 35-24, Chinese Taipei on top of New Zealand. 35-24, Chinese Taipei on top of New Zealand at halftime in this very important game of the FIBA Asia Women's Cup. The winner of this game will finish second in the group and cross over to play in a quarterfinal, most likely against Korea, we would imagine, or perhaps the Democratic Republic of Korea.
Well, Korea should finish fourth.
Excuse me, Korea or the Philippines.
Yeah, Philippines will finish fourth, I think, in the other group.
So probably
Korea will be third. So the
Democratic Republic of Korea in this group, and they are almost certain they will play actually either Australia or Japan.
Yeah, so
whoever wins the other group.
So the loser will play the loser of Australia-Japan, and the winner will play the winner of
which, by
Korea.
the way, that's going to be a great game today, Australia-Japan.
I don't think Korea is going to be an easy game for either of these two either.
But look at this. I mean, I was telling you about the coach. Look at her. Look at what she's doing. She has been out here at halftime, and they know the importance of this game. So she's going over the defense.
Oh yeah, I mean,
of how to make life miserable for New Zealand.
I mean, you don't ever see it, but there's no reason why it shouldn't happen. We saw it before the game, and we saw it at halftime. Why not? You know, I think it's like being in a classroom with kids. There's many ways that kids learn. And sometimes seeing things on a clipboard, some players don't understand that way. You've got to see it physically. You've got to be able to feel it and touch it on the floor to understand it. So all kudos to the Taiwanese coach Chang.
Well, things just kind of snowballed for New Zealand in the first half. They were up 5-4 and then a 13-0 run for Chinese Taipei. I mean, they started hitting shots. New Zealand started turning the ball over. And next thing you knew, this Chinese Taipei team had opened up a lead, their biggest lead of 17 points. And I suppose, fortunately for New Zealand, they were able to get it back. Was it 10? Or no, it was 9. 8. They subsequently opened it back up to, I think it was 9, and then they've opened it back up to an 11-point lead. So obviously plenty of time for the Tall Ferns and a lot of work to do for Chinese Taipei, but you have to applaud Chinese Taipei for how they've come out and played today. I mean, they've come out, they've known how they wanted to play, and they've executed, and also how she's kind of interchanged Bao, bringing her out of the game for a long time and then bringing her right back at the end for a little burst to help out.
Yeah, if you look at the three-point shooting, Jeff, 4 of 9 for Chinese Taipei, 1 of 7 for New Zealand. That is the difference. 3 three-pointers separates these two teams.
Well, welcome back, folks, to Bengaluru, India. It's the FIBA Asia Women's Cup. It's day 3, and it's the big game between New Zealand. And Edmondson's pass picked off to Cox, and not how you want to start things off if you're the Tall Ferns. And they get a break there as Chinese Taipei missed the layup.
Oh, great running from Bao Shilei. What, 6'6" and 1.98 m, run the lane.
They get it over the line, wide open. And again, a break for New Zealand.
Well, layup and you get nothing out of it. That's tough for Chinese Taipei.
But they cut down on the turnovers in the second quarter. New Zealand can't start throwing the ball into the hands of the opponent. There's Purcell. That is an awfully difficult shot. She almost made it.
Almost went in. No trick shot, please.
Huang Pengjin pulls up, misses, and good job from Cox.
Okay, let's settle things down, everybody. Let's get Cox onto the wing. Let's get the ball in the low post. Reversal pass.
Well, I'm starting to think we aren't going to see that pairing that you want to see with Agnew and Cox. Here's Harmon.
See, they're guarding Cox pretty tightly on this weak side here.
And shot clock winding down, and Purcell has to put it up. And Harmon gets in there, gets a rebound. Oh, nice bounce pass, but it was read by Chinese Taipei. Look at that, getting on the ground for the ball, Edmondson.
Absolutely outstanding work from Edmondson. All 3 of them really, Huang, Bao, and Edmondson.
She's leading New Zealand, doing the dirty work today. The block shots, diving on the court for the loose balls, but Chinese Taipei Just seems kind of like this New Zealand team is just perpetually stuck in third gear. They just can't shift it.
Yeah, they're going to need something. They're going to need a little bit of inspiration from Coach Kiriyama to think, well, what can I make this to work here? And the assistant coaches come into play here too. What variations can you throw? And foul from Purcell there. Great work from Joy.
Well, they're at this end of the floor again.
We got viewers all over the world, Jeff, apparently watching us.
So, in fact, Harman plays the 4 spot in Italy. I've just been informed via Mike Lacey.
She gets a fair share of post work then. Well done, Jeff.
No, well done, Mike.
Oh, Purcell missed the cutting Harman there. That was a tough one. You got to take your breaks. You got to take your chances. Oh, nice ball.
Oh, they just let her go. Oh, and she missed the layup.
I think it was probably a travel as well, but you've got to make those ones.
Both teams, neither team has scored yet.
That's like the start of the game, isn't it? Really slow start.
Rebounding totals for both teams. And, you know, we talk about Chinese Taipei missing those shots, and that is when New Zealand need to make their run. They're missing their shots, and New Zealand have not made their run. Paul Vost puts it on the deck and goes in and misses the layup.
Beautiful drive, though. I love it. And wonderful work from Purcell. Outstanding. Cut.
Boy, Purcell is really passing it, isn't she? Oh, New Zealand.
I think Edmondson was expecting a foul. She went up. Contact didn't come, and she fell well short on the shot.
And look at that. Huang Fanshan. Slow to bring it up the floor.
That didn't feel like 8 seconds. So,
but it did. If you looked at the shot clock, it was down to 15. But I know what you mean.
Yeah, maybe there was a quick reset. I don't know. It just.
Right. Boy, that was New Zealand.
There's the shot they want.
Harman.
There you go.
Drills it.
That's what you want. They should make one of those the first half. So luckily for New Zealand, you might have just got her onto a rich vein there. Maybe she's going to get hot now.
But you know Chinese Taipei are not going to go cold for the entire time.
No, but they might go cold for a little bit, just enough to get New Zealand back in the game, Jeff.
Well, they're only down 9 now. Lin dribbles into trouble, passes it. Shot clock winding down. Cheng has to put it up, and Harman has it now. A rare chance to run for New Zealand. Harman gets it off to Cox. And good hustle from Huang Fanshan to get the block. Huang Fanshan on the SWAT team.
Tough work from Cox, because you know what, it could have been a foul. I always say in situations like that, when you go up, keep the ball moving. You go up one side and maybe move the ball in midair. Make it difficult to get your shot blocked. In fact, I don't always say it, but I used to do it. So there you go.
So this is the first game of the day. First of 5 for us, in fact. What do you think about that? And it's
not much.
A crucial,
great pass. Great pass.
And they get Harman, and she's not going to miss it. And now New Zealand trail by just 7 points. And can they keep the clamps on Chinese Taipei at this end?
Yeah, second time they've gone high-low, and Harman's been a beneficiary. I think she must have double figures by now, Jeff.
Good hands from Paul Vost. And the kick, so they're going to reset it to 14.
Harman's the first player in double figures with 11 points. Here's the high-low. Purcell gets it high. Dumps it down. Great pass. Good catch, too.
Now Wu goes right at Purcell. And has the ball knocked away. Paul Voss takes it. Paul Voss was trying to make the outlet pass, but nobody was looking back. And Purcell catches her own miss and is able to get it over to Cox. Harman drifts in and can't get it to go.
Everybody screaming, shoot it, as the shot clock was running down.
Lin. It's in, over to Cheng. More than 5 minutes, and Chinese Taipei have not scored in the quarter. Three-pointer is Short and good hustle from Harmon.
And they've gone ice cold now, Jeff. Big chance for New Zealand to get back into this. I think if they score, we'll see.
They're going to dump it to Purcell. She puts it up and still doesn't make it. Goodness me.
So if New Zealand score, we'll see Bao Shilei come back in, I'm sure.
Cox up at the line. Good. And now it's a 5-point game.
And Jeff, where did Michaela Cox score from?
Right at the free throw line.
At the wing, coming from the wing.
Right, yeah.
All right, that's where you need to get them every time.
Whoa. It's a game of runs, and right now it's a cold run for this Chinese Taipei team. They've put a lot of emphasis on the defensive end, obviously, but what is New Zealand doing? Is it just a case of Chinese Taipei? I don't think so. I don't think it's just a case of Chinese Taipei missing shots. I think New Zealand's playing better defense.
Yeah, a little bit of both, isn't there? Yeah, a little bit of both. I mean, did China do much wrong when Chinese Taipei came out and hit 11 points in a row off every jump shot? No, just it was their time to have a run in the game. And right now, New Zealand's run. Chinese Taipei need to respond. I still think you might see Bao Shilei come back in, but it's quite clear that she's standing outside of the huddle, so she's not coming in. For New Zealand, and this is a great run. This is their best period of the game. They've just got to keep the pressure up, keep pounding it inside. And there's Cox's little 2-dribble jump shot. Nice form, nice follow through.
You know, one thing we haven't really talked about, though, with respect to if you take Paul Vest out, you're taking a little bit of size out. She's pretty big for her position.
Yeah, but you're playing Chinese Taipei, Jeff. What does size matter? You know, you're playing against players that are smaller than you anyway. And
no, size, physicality, defense.
But again, you're playing Chinese Taipei. Chinese Taipei aren't going to out-physic you, are they? Out-physical you, out-muscle you.
Yeah.
You know, it's horses for courses. You know, you're at a luxury. You've got Agnew out to a point, Cox at the 2. You don't lose anything.
That's if Agnew plays defense as well. There you go. And the ball goes off Chinese Taipei.
That's good work for Purcell. Purcell was the one that had to track out. She switched out onto the runner on the weak side. Got beaten back door. And a tough shot was missed by Chinese Taipei. Zone for Chinese Taipei again here.
Well, they really come out. They extend on the zone, so there should be some space. And the hand check.
Nice work from Palvas. Just put the ball on the floor, looking to penetrate. I did like the way Cox got to a wing, though. That's important.
Harmon gets it.
Oh, wow. Purcell wide open.
Oh, traveling on Cox.
You know, Jeff, a simple way of getting Michaela Cox onto a wing is just go and dribble to a winger, get a handoff. You actually end up with a quick 3-pointer as well. There's the turnovers for New Zealand there. They've done better, Jeff. They had a miserable first quarter. He's got to hold court here. He's got to stop again, Jeff. Keep getting the stops.
Chinese Taipei looking for their first points. Never mind points of the third quarter. Cox blanketing Huang Fanshan. Wu has it and dribbles into trouble, puts it up, falls down, perhaps looking to get a foul. Now Edmondson in the open floor. Edmondson's going to take it all the way. Nope, she's going to give it back to Purcell, and she read the defense beautifully.
Beautiful play, beautiful play. Jeff, first half Chinese Taipei are shooting jump shots. Now they don't want to take the shot, they want to drive. And it's causing them all sorts of problems.
Well, it's night and day, isn't it? Anything they put up is going in. Now they're not putting it up. Huang dribbles, drives, and sandwich from behind by Harmon. And New Zealand. Purcell has it. Oh, tough pass to Harmon. How'd she catch it? And now a hold. And
low pin, just bumping Cox through the lane. Here's Edmondson, a little out of control. You know, Purcell's found those gaps quite often these last 3 days.
And they're continuing to keep Bao out. Or Joy Burke, if you will.
And so effective at the end of the first half, too.
And she's walking a tightrope over there on the sideline. Taylor right in off the bench, takes the three. Polvos now. This is where they're getting it done. They get it to Purcell. She goes up, and well, that basket's got a lid on it for her sometimes, doesn't it?
Jeff, I'll tell you, if we can get a replay of that, that'll be good. But the low post play of Kalani Purcell, you look over your right shoulder just to make the defense think you're going that way, and then you reverse pivot to your left foot. It's just a picture perfect post play. Alliteration there.
Yes, it was, but she doesn't make. So she goes from potential three-point play to now the most she can have 1 point.
Yes.
Look at that, 8 points, 10 rebounds, misses both. That hurts you for New Zealand.
Yeah, no, well, it doesn't. You know what? I love the energy. I love the momentum they're getting right now.
Just got to forget about it.
Yeah.
For Chinese Taipei, boy, I mean, almost 8 minutes without a point here in the third quarter.
Has this ever happened before, Jeff? You ever seen this before at this level where nobody scores?
And offensive foul. Is that an illegal screen? Moving?
Not sure who's anybody's guess. On 5, it's on Huang here. I'm not sure. So she was in this screen over here, so
Huang Fanshan?
Maybe holding. That's all I can think of. The team held scoreless. That'll be one for the books.
Well, it makes you wonder what might be coming into the fourth quarter. They might erupt again. Taylor to Harmon to Purcell. Where's Purcell going? She left her feet. And Nil still can't get it to go.
They covered his bear continually right now, isn't it? Nothing going. There's Purcell wide open too.
She sees Harmon could have turned right. Cox open. And Paul Voss. Ooh. Might have been a tough call for.
No, I thought Huang did touch it last.
He did, okay.
But Palvas was the one that swiped at it. Unfortunate.
I could see you.
Good shot from Kyla Cox to take again, though.
Yeah, I mean, she got front, back of the rim, just stayed out. I mean, right now it's almost as if New Zealand has the lid on the basket as well. They haven't really lit it up here. Good pass to Purcell.
Harmon wide open.
Well, they got back, and
it's a ticky-tack foul from Kalana Purcell, just reaching in. And second team foul for New Zealand, so won't even get shots, Chinese Taipei.
3 fouls on Purcell. Do you want to sit her down here just for a second? Final minute.
Defensively wouldn't be a bad idea, yeah.
Because her passing has been pretty good as well. She does more than just score. 3-point attempt, finally! Well, New Zealand had a couple of chances to get to within 1 or to tie it. They didn't, and now they trail again by 6. Oh, if she's wide open, she's going to make it.
Jeff, they've got this high-low sewn up. If they're really smart about it, either go low and hit high or vice versa.
And the ball goes out of bounds. Well, at least they've avoided the ignominy of going a quarter without scoring, Chinese Taipei.
Really. Look at that, so much space in that baseline, in the middle of that zone in general. I think Chinese Taipei is so cognizant of the fact that they might get beaten with a three-pointer. They're overplaying the three-point line, therefore there's so much space. The number of times either Harmon or Purcell have been open.
You'd rather New Zealand take the 3 to give them that space.
Absolutely, yeah. No, you wouldn't want to give up players, that's for sure. See where this one goes. Close the half. Quarter.
14 seconds. There you can see it on the graphic. Now down to 9. Clock winding down. Well, Cox ends up with a tough shot. Just horrible, horrible offense. And that's it. So
that's an oh dear moment. That was completely. I mean, you wouldn't want to waste a timeout for that. Possibly, I agree with Kiriyama there. You got to keep in your pocket for late in the game. But 38-34.
Well, they're in a better position than they were. And as you look at the stats, New Zealand still just 1 of 9 from 3, which begs the question: why are Chinese Taipei extending their defense?
Yeah.
You're going to get a minute here.
Mick, this might drive home your argument that Cox is better as a 2. She's got 9 points, 0 assists, 5 turnovers.
Yeah, and you think Agnew came in the game, the first thing she did was a little dump down to Purcell for
Yeah,
easy 2.
Agnew played just 2 minutes. She hasn't scored, but she's got the assist and a rebound. And they're +6 when she's on the court.
I mean, at the end of the day, Jeff,
I mean, yeah, it's easy for us to sit here and dissect things.
Kennedy Kiriyama knows these players better than we do.
Exactly.
So we're just seeing it from the outset from a very short period of time.
Yeah, no, you're right.
But I think you have to be adaptive. You have to look at your strengths and say, okay, if I can get Cox an open jump shot, am I going to be happy with that? Yes, you are, with the way she's shooting right now.
And if you want Palmvoss in that two spot, you need to get some production out of her, right?
Yeah.
She hasn't scored.
No, that's essential. How many minutes has she played?
25, 24.
So she's a real defensive specialist. So, okay, so can you give some of those 25 minutes to somebody else and get a little bit more production? The chances are you can't do any worse, can you?
Meanwhile, Harmon has played almost 29 minutes. So she's only sat for about a minute and 14 seconds, in fact. And she's already got her double-double sewn up for the day. 11 points,
Well, she was
12 rebounds.
35 minutes yesterday, Jeff. So she's going to hit high 30s again today.
Here's the quarter-by-quarter scoring. Just that 1 3-pointer for Chinese Taipei in the quarter.
Intriguing game, though, that's for sure.
New Zealand, they want to get the penetration. Are they going to be able to get it? It's going to be Purcell on the baseline, and she continues to get it done. She's also got a double-double.
Very patient work. I like that. That might seal the game for me. I can see New Zealand finishing this one off now.
You might have just jinxed them. The ball goes out of bounds, but boy, I mean, you really have to applaud Purcell. I mean, she's just been terrific, hasn't she?
Yeah. Little short jump shot here. Little short elbow.
She's got 3 assists to go with her 12 points and 11 rebounds.
Yeah, that's good for her. You want that out of your big to be able to make the extra
good
pass.
block from Edmondson, and she just also underlines her
She must
importance
have
to
3
this team.
blocks, doesn't she? The Swapmeister.
Yeah, she's got. They only had her down for 1. I know she already had 2. So the stat person, we need some help here. Good bounce pass. Purcell on the baseline, and she's knotted it up. They trailed by 17 points, and the Tall Terns have battled back. And Chinese Taipei just not in the flow offensively. Anything and everything they seem to put up for several minutes there in that first quarter seemed to go in. And now they're all knotted.
And they've gone back man-to-man, too, so they've dispensed with the zone.
Now Harmon's going to go to work. She puts up a left, and the Tall Terns have gone in front.
What a performance, Jeff. What a, from heroes to zeros, really, when you think about it. They've really just gone ice cold, Chinese Taipei.
Wang for 3, good! And that
shut my mouth.
Could not have come at a better time. I mean, you just wonder if that might trigger something positive for the team from the Far East. Inside to Purcell. Oh, Purcell made that much harder than it needed to be. And good hustle from Cox. And the effort from Edmondson rubbing off on her teammates. Now Harmon off the back of the iron, and Chinese Taipei, they briefly gave away the lead, and now the three-pointer, and a little bit of a break. And goodness me, that has got to be a shot.
That's how Kalani
that Cheng is going to make.
Kalani Purcell is everywhere, isn't she? Just picking up all the little loose bits. As she said, she's got a double-double. I don't understand why New Zealand's not running man-to-man offenses here.
And Purcell drives in. Oh, that was an unsportsmanlike foul has been called against New Zealand. Wow. They had two players back.
Yeah, Jeff, not only that, there was a big carry double dribble. You call it, look, watch this on the replay here. That's a carry. Ball hits the hip.
And where's the unsportsmanlike?
Well, Edmondson, she
grabbed her?
Yeah, watch, right there.
Oh, yeah, that's an unsportsmanlike.
Yeah. But the carry beforehand, I don't know what Edmondson's pointing at. I'm not sure. Oh, they're pointing to the fact that somebody else was back. But you don't grab somebody.
No, you don't. And that's where your instincts just kind of take over.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for New Zealand, it's not coming at a good time. They were right in the middle of a comeback, but they're not going to be fully punished by Lin.
And the way Chinese Taipei have been playing offense, there's no...
But now Bao is back in the game, so this is interesting. Wonder if New Zealand are aware. And she's going to miss one of two, so she'll make one of two, take it up to a 2-point lead. Chinese Taipei, they haven't cracked yet. I mean, they were up 17. New Zealand came back to take the lead, and now Chinese Taipei back in front, and they've got the ball. Harmon, look at that defensive position. Moving her feet, making life miserable for Lin. They get it to Bao. Oh, nice move from Bao. She missed it. She sticks with it. And Purcell thought she had all ball, but now she's got 4 fouls.
Yeah, tough on Purcell, because I think it was all ball from behind. I think that's what the referees don't like. Let's have a look. Purcell stays with it.
Oh. Well,
not bad, not bad. Good defense.
Tough call on Purcell, and Bao a little bit short with the first one, and he's got to go with her, doesn't he? But he's also got to be thinking about what is his option if she fouls out. Oh, she missed both incredibly. I think you got to ride her, and then you got to think if she does pick up the fifth, who will he go with? And will you just put Harmon in the low post?
Yeah, I think so.
Taylor's going to be from the left.
T.
Yeah, those are the jump shots. Got to go down, Jeff. It's a quick one.
Yeah, she hasn't really found, you know, it could be an issue of playing time. She needs more minutes, but got to pick your spots. Oh, great block from Harmon.
Wow. Crowd loved that one. Swat block.
Oh, nice way to push it. If you're Cox drives all the way, misses, but Harmon hustles down. Cox open for 3. Still can't get it to go.
Again, got both sides of the rim, too. In and out, getting no luck.
Boy, both teams now 4 minutes into the fourth quarter. The tension is palpable. They can feel it. Lin for 3. Go! Oh no, it was a 2. And New Zealand, not a bad timeout, I think, as they fall behind by 4 points. You know, you trail by so much, you fight all the way back, you take the lead. How deflating is it? And then you see this go in.
Yeah, you got to put some pressure on Palvas there to get out and close out a bit quicker. You know, I know Chinese Taipei haven't shot as well this second half, but every one of their points from the field has been 3-pointers. I think hit 3 threes and a couple of free throws.
Well, you've got to pull the toll first for coming back, but goodness me.
Gillian Harmon, leading rebounder, and yet Purcell must be hot on her heels, I think, because she's a double-double, doesn't she? Purcell has 13 rebounds. So between the two of them, they have 27 of New Zealand's rebounds.
Yeah, not a bad day at the office for Kalani Purcell. She's struggled to get some of these shots to fall that she should have made. 14 points, 13 rebounds, but yeah, 13 points, 14 rebounds for Harmon. And Edmondson, just 1 of 6 from the floor, but as we said, she's got 5 rebounds and she's got a few blocks. And I know Edmondson has a steal as well, and they haven't recorded that. Cox, Harmon, and drills it.
Wow, you got to love that, Jeff.
Coming out of a timeout.
Well, Jillian Harmon maybe could have gone to the hoop, but she shied away from it, got the ball moved around, and once it came back to her, she's got a stroke now. She loves that face-up game, that's for sure.
Now she's got team high 15 and pulling up at the line, and oh, Bow, nobody boxed out Bow. She misses. Great rebound from Edmondson. And Purcell, and they finally get the rub of the green on one of those.
Well, excellent. You know, what Purcell does very well here is initiate contact before she releases the ball. It's that contact and then the forward momentum from Bao Shilei that the referees were keen to get on top of. I still fancy New Zealand for this game. What's this now? Little lean in here. There. If Bao Shilei stays away from the contact, that's a clean block.
Purcell, she missed a couple, but now she makes one.
This is the biggest game of the tournament by far, isn't it? The double-double today.
She makes both. We were talking yesterday about how somebody else had to step up, and she actually stepped up yesterday in the second half.
Well, you know, the big reason is she's out of foul trouble today. Well, she's in foul trouble now, but it's later in the game. We got many more minutes out of her today than before.
Purcell getting up close on Huang Fanshan, and very easily Huang Fanshan says, okay, you're going to play this close.
Well,
I'm just going to go right past you.
Beaten too easily, beaten way too easily. You can't give up easy points like that at this stage of the game.
Harmon on the baseline argues that she needs to be careful. She doesn't want a technical. And that's a good job by the ref to warn her and not to just give it.
She's arguing that somebody touched the ball. I'm not sure that matters too much, does it? You touch the ball and come down with it once you've jumped in the air, the referee's always going to call you travel. You've got to let go of that, I think. Yeah, you're right.
Shot clock down to 7. Chinese Taipei standing around. Foul pushing off. Well, they have to launch one, and long rebound chased down by Cox.
Great work from Cox. Great work from Cox.
We're coming up on the 4-minute mark. And they find Purcell. She gets inside. Oh, another one from Purcell. She's big time today, folks. 18 points.
Wow, what a game. What a game for Kalani Purcell.
Huang Fanshan gets down low. Shot clock down to 8. The high pick, Lin leads with the left, pulls up with a jumper, hand in the face from Edmondson, and now New Zealand have it. 3.5 minutes. Well, you got to give Kalani Purcell a touch, don't you? Oh, pass almost telegraphed. And there's Paul Vost. And again, if she could have just finished, might have had a 3-point play, but Ching picks up her 4th.
Well, Palmas has taken 2 shots all game, Jeff, in how many minutes? Nearly 30 minutes probably now, isn't it? 25 minutes? Yeah, 28 minutes. So this is the first time she's really gone in and said, I'm going to take control of things here. It's a great drive from Palmas. She's 100% from the line in the tournament, and that continues.
You're trying to jinx her, aren't you? You are the jinx man. New Zealand fans are like, just be quiet, will you? Chinese Taipei keeps saying, yeah, just keep talking.
She's 3 of 3 for the tournament now. There you go, 100%.
New Zealand, Chinese Taipei They're not going to give up the ghost. 3.5 minutes, 48-46. Can the Tall Ferns continue to play the D? Now, Natalie Taylor has come in for Paul Voss.
Yeah, probably not a bad move.
No, she's good defensively, without question. And down low to Bow. She's going to go with Purcell. And good rebound from Harmon.
Wow.
God, the 1-2 punch of Harmon and Purcell has been absolutely phenomenal today.
Wow. Doubles, didn't it? Yeah, it's a tough call on Chinese Taipei, this one. I tell you what, that is tough. Good defensive position.
You got to. If New Zealand win this game, having trailed by 17 and fought through the adversity that they have, I mean, their confidence surely has to grow. But you know what? They have got, whatever happens in this game, whether they win or lose, they've got to be ready to play from the start with that quarterfinal.
Against Korea?
They've been starting slow.
Well, Korea don't have many options too, do they? They play Korea as third-place team. Whoever does, really. So New Zealand, to me, are still struggling to find.
Where has it gone wrong for this Chinese Taipei team?
Well, where did they go wrong against China in the first half? They didn't make jump shots, did they? And third quarter, they didn't make jump shots. They didn't, 3 points for the quarter. You know, half of me says the lady in view there, Bao Shilei, needs to play mega minutes. You look at the stats, she's probably played under 20 minutes today. Prove me wrong, sir.
No, I think you're right. I'm just curious. Yeah, she's played 14.5 minutes.
So how does that work?
3 of 9. I mean, she has had some opportunities.
She is providing shots close to the bucket. No other player on the Chinese Taipei has even got close to getting close shots. So everything relies on the jump shot. Now, first half, everything was dropping. Third quarter, nothing was dropping, but we didn't see it.
I think what you have to ask is why their approach defensively, if they just seal off the lane and force New Zealand to beat them with jump shots, surely they're going to like their chances better.
Don't forget the run came when Chinese Taipei were in the zone. They went high-low and found those holes in the middle. Kalani Purcell was just getting to the hoop. And,
okay, well, Matt, like sagging man to man, maybe.
Well, now you're in man-to-man, but momentum's with New Zealand. The confidence is New Zealand. So now you're fighting two things: a change of defense for yourselves and confidence boost.
Cox gets it to Purcell. She turns. She scores.
Hey, you know. And the other thing, the problem is you've got a young lady, Purcell, who's just lighting it up.
Can New Zealand close it out? Or can Chinese Taipei, who's going to step up? Are they going to try to go low? Is somebody going to put up a 3? Shot clock winding down to 6. Huang Pengchen goes baseline. Puts up a little hook shot and scores. Goodness me. Well, you can't do much better for Harmon.
Pressure, yeah.
2 minutes and 11 seconds remaining. Taylor gets it to Purcell, whips it over to Edmondson. Harmon on the baseline. Another rebound for Edmondson, new 14. They get to Edmondson, the left corner. And another rebound for Edmondson. They've got to get Harmon a touch or Purcell. They've been carrying him. Here she is. She's going to go to work. And she misses. And Bao gets the rebound. The ball knocked out of bounds, however, with Taylor, who comes in, reaches, and knocks it off of Bao.
Well, we've got 2 offensive rebounds and an out of bounds. This is a long offense.
So they're saying that she didn't have possession because there's only 14 on the shot clock.
Yeah.
Chinese Taipei need to D. They need to rebound. There's Taylor. And Taylor puts her nose down, goes hard to the basket, and is rewarded with a trip to the free throw line. I like this move better from Taylor than settling for jump shots. If the jumpers aren't falling, be aggressive.
Yeah, well, Harmon and Purcell are the only 2 people making jump shots, and you're exactly right, Jeff. Just take it to the hoop, make the referees make a decision.
So Ching goes out of the game with 5 fouls. And Taylor sees the ball go through the hoop for the first time today. She's played 17.5 minutes and makes both free throws. 2 of the biggest free throws she's ever made in her life. Oh. And now Harman called for the reach.
Yeah, left hand went into reach as the sweep dribble went by, and I think she just got her chin caught up as well.
So New Zealand with now it's 3 fouls. Chinese Taipei, meanwhile, have committed 4. So if they foul New Zealand, they'll go to the line. So New Zealand can afford to give away another one. They got to play the D. Wong Fan Chan goes up, forces one. Good effort from Bao. She gets it back. And 3 shot clock violation. Well, you got to really talk about this New Zealand defense after this game. I mean, it has been terrific in the second half.
Yeah, they've done very well. Very tough, gritty, resilient, whatever you want to, what adjectives you want to use. And now Chinese Taipei need a stop here.
Purcell, she goes up, tough shot, she makes it! Will that be enough now? The clock is very definitely the enemy of Chinese Taipei. And somebody needs to stop the game clock. I'm looking up at the scoreboard, and it's still running. Okay, now they've put it back to 46 seconds. Look at Purcell. Look at Purcell. As good as Harman has been once again, I mean, you got to say Purcell has just probably had the game of her life for New Zealand.
Yeah, and Jeff, it all started with the fact she didn't pick up fouls in the first quarter. She was very disciplined, stayed out of trouble, and she's been in the floor on the court. How many minutes, Jeff? We got 34 minutes for Purcell and
37, almost 38 for Harman.
And she, okay, so
there are 2 players that have to be on the floor for this New Zealand team.
And if you look at Purcell's minutes, the last 2 games, 23 and 25 minutes. The big key, staying in the game.
Let me tell you something. Edmondson has not had to work on offensively, but boy, she has been terrific, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Tony Edmondson.
She's a good athlete. She's key to this team in different areas apart from scoring. And she got a couple of offensive rebounds just now.
We can rotate to help.
And she has 8 for the game, Jeff. 8 rebounds, 3 assists.
1, 2, 3.
The number of times we've seen Tony Edmondson diving on the floor for loose balls, blocking shots, getting rebounds. These are the types of plays that win basketball games.
Don't foul the jump shooters.
She picks herself every time, doesn't she? She's been out there.
Is that allowed? Do you pick yourself?
She picks it with, you know.
I'd have played every game. That was the rules.
She's played 28.5 minutes.
Yeah,
But she's the type of player that the other New Zealanders that aren't playing that much need to watch. Bao gets inside. She's going to go up. They're going to go for 2.
Jeff, another reason why Bao should have been playing more than 14 minutes.
Now, interestingly, New Zealand are going to call timeout, and you also have to start wondering now about the free throw game. We don't really see New Zealand go to the line that often, but they have actually been there a few times today and hit 9 of 11.
Well, it's interesting because the ball went in the bucket. Kennedy Kariyama obviously called timeout because he thinks the press is coming, but there was no press. The fact if there's no press, then you get the option of walking the ball off the floor for 8 seconds, taking 8 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, so now you don't like the timeout.
You don't have that luxury now because you're in the half court. Maybe you want to run the clock down to 24 in this situation. Maybe Chinese Taipei won't let you now. They're going to call a timeout. Maybe they'll foul straight away. Something has to give.
I think Chinese Taipei will play defense. I don't think they'll foul, especially because New Zealand has shot it well from the line today. And to be honest, I'm not just looking at the people who have, we've seen Cox make free throws in this tournament. Purcell's 4 of 6 now. Natalie Taylor just drilled a couple. Paul Voss has hit a couple, and Harman's hit her only free throw.
Jeff, let me give you a little conundrum here, right? 41 seconds on the clock. Just suppose you ran the clock down and didn't shoot 24, right? So you're down to 17. So Chinese Taipei have 17 seconds to get a shot down the other end. Well, let's
the clock right now, management is more important.
So let's take 8 seconds to get a shot. Even if it's a 3, that leaves 9 seconds. And you've got a timeout to advance the ball.
So Kariyama right now is saying, we don't want a quick shot.
Yeah, definitely not.
I mean, do you think he told him that?
Yeah, I'm going to take seconds off this here. I'm going to take my time.
Yep, you're right. Giving it back to Cox. On the 15. Still not ready. And then if you're going to foul Chinese Taipei, why do you allow 14 seconds to go off the clock?
If you're going to foul straight away. That's
Huang Peng-Chen.
And I wouldn't worry that Cox was running time off the clock. Well, you knew that was going to happen. So what's your plan B? What are you going to come up with? Now you got shots against Cox.
It always comes down to the free throw line, doesn't it?
Yep. That's why I talked about would they foul straight away, and really the option was to foul straight away.
So that takes it back to a 5-point lead. It only makes 1 of 2. Clock is the enemy. Are they going to take a 3? They're going to get inside. Oh, she walked. They didn't call it, and a 3-pointer. It looked like she walked as she got to the line.
Timeout call, timeout. Good call from
I would love to see that play again.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it was a Euro step.
It was the hop, skip, and a jump from the Olympics, isn't it?
What in the world was I mean, I think Kariyama's saying the same thing. Look at this.
Well,
maybe not. It just looked a bit awkward.
Landed with a jump stop, yeah.
Obviously now, the Chinese Taipei, you still have to foul, don't you? You go for the steal or you foul. I mean, it's, you can't let. So again, it comes down to the free throw line. And New Zealand are going to have to close it out. And this Chinese Taipei team are dangerous. I mean, they've hit 6 3-pointers now. 6 of 15. That one.
That's screen for Kay. So we want Kay going long.
That one was made by.
Side of the floor. And then Jill.
Do you remember who that was? Just thinking the obvious candidates.
What, for the 3-pointer? Yeah, just now Bao.
Showing us a different feather, a different string to her bow.
Well, again, you go back to her minutes she's played. How many minutes she's played? 17, 18?
Yeah, one of. It was definitely Bao. Yep. I think my stats have stopped.
1 of 6. Anyway, I mean, the key here is that, again, it's the same situation for New Zealand. They know they're going to get fouled. They'd like to take as much time off the clock as they can, but the likelihood is they won't be able to because they're going to get fouled. It's can you get the ball to the person who wants the best shooters? That's the thing. It's either Harmon or Cox to get it in bounds. Cox is wide open. Harmon's wide open. There she is. Okay.
Yep. Oh, they're letting valuable seconds run off the clock.
No. That's the foul you want. Wow. Taylor's going to have to step up here.
Well, they only lost 6 seconds. They only took 6 seconds off the clock. New Zealand.
Jeff, there's an element that if you're looking to foul and you're a shooter, you let them foul you. So Natalie Taylor here has got to step up and make some huge shots.
Well, she just made a couple.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So 56-53. Wow, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give her a new nickname, no doubt about it, because when she goes to the line, those things are in. And a steal, and New Zealand look like they're going to hold on to get a valuable win. Goodness me, talk about grit. This team has got it. They know how to play from behind, don't they?
Absolutely. What's Chinese Taipei's score for the second half? What did they have at halftime? 38?
Yeah, they had 35 at halftime.
So they've put an 18-point second half together. That's just...
The first one is good. And New Zealand not really in celebratory mode right now. Perhaps because they know there are bigger games ahead. Look at Purcell. They've definitely taken a step forward in this one because New Zealand, as Land takes the 3, has come from 17 points down to beat Chinese Taipei. And Chinese Taipei are going to go back and look at the game tape and just think, how in the world did we fall apart like this? But credit to New Zealand, they didn't give in. They win it 59-53. I can't say enough about Harmon. I mean, she's a veteran. We didn't even know she was coming back after the Women's Olympic qualifying tournament. She's come back and has played absolutely amazing. But where you really have to say is Purcell was just phenomenal today. There she is. And you see the struggles for both teams shooting the basketball. A lot of free throws made by New Zealand. That was crucial. And look at the rebounding advantage of New Zealand. And I suppose that's not a surprise against Chinese Taipei. And New Zealand had 8 turnovers in the first quarter. They had 8 the rest of the way. Purcell had the game high 22 points. Why didn't Bao play more? Well, the Inquisition will go underway now, or the post-mortem. Edmondson with those 2 blocks. I think she had 3 blocks, personally. Go back and look at it. And then you look at the top scores. That's you know, more and more now, New Zealand's starting to get more people to step up and carry the load on offense. So, a job well done. I mean, New Zealand, they started to click. What would you say? Midway through the second quarter, they still trailed by 11 at halftime,
Yeah,
and then
that was the time they came good and found their confidence, didn't they? Just created little momentums that just got them going a bit more. And you know what? Just take Agnew coming off the bench. That little period where she came in and just dished it off against the zone for an easy 2 for Purcell. Even that moment there, to me, changed their fortunes.
You got to tip your hat to Natalie Taylor. She came in, made some big free throws.
Wow, yeah, and I was like, the only reason I was doubting Taylor, because she was so far away from the ball on the inbounds, therefore might have been the weak link in terms of shooting free throws, but no, she made me a believer.
Yeah, I think if it's late in the game, in that situation, she's got to be on the floor. She knows that she's going to step up and hit some shots. And
absolutely.
You know, and maybe with more playing time or maybe with more shooting, she would actually start hitting some of those jumpers that she's taken. But you know, we're looking at basically the future of New Zealand now with Kalani Purcell. I mean, she is going to be a part of this Tall Ferns team for a long time to come. And now the question is, who else in New Zealand women's basketball is going to step up and join them? But they have got a lot to be excited about. Now you have to think they've got a great chance of getting to the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup. They're going to have a much more favorable matchup in the quarterfinal. They still have to go out and prove it. And I can see that being a very awkward game, most likely against Korea.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But would they have settled for this spot before the FIBA Asia Women's Cup? 2-1?
Jeff, I don't think at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's, do you have a quarterfinal game that you can win? And right now, I think they would say, playing Korea, we've got a good chance of going through. Korea are not playing very well at all. They're really under strength in terms of their ability to put the ball in the net. Have New Zealand got the weapons? Definitely. Have they got the intensity? Definitely. Do they have the toughness? Definitely.
Well, we know the Koreans can play a lot better. New Zealand are hoping that game isn't going to come against them. Today it looked like it was going to be Chinese Taipei that saved their best for New Zealand, but it was New Zealand that has come back to win it, 59-53. Thanks for watching, everybody.